Hey guys, I hope you're doing all right. Today I'm going to introduce you to one of my projects where I'm using OpenAI, ChatGPT, Python, the Unsplash media library, and WordPress to generate blog posts out of my CLI. The project is already on GitHub. Um, it's available to download, and I'm going to introduce you a little bit more about the code and the structure of it. So it is basically split into several directories. We have one database directory. This is basically just there for the tracking of our blog posts and the costs of our generated blog posts, so that we have everything sorted. Then some basic tests for people who download and try the tool. We test our config, the test to the OpenAI API, and our WordPress JWT token, which you have to install as a plugin, like an authentication plugin. Then we have a folder or directory for the utilities. We want to cache our JWT token. We want to parse our config. We integrated, or I integrated the direct connection to the Google Search Console, so that if you publish your blog post, it will directly be updated at the Google Search Console. So the advantage is that your blog post is directly indexed into Google. And then we have the temporary file. This is used to upload the pictures from Unsplash. The core of the project is basically only the generate blog post. The people also ask, the Unsplash and the WordPress controller. But now let's dive deeper into the code. As I told you, I have the several directories. I'm going to start with the hard, basically. Well, let's say I start from the CLI part. We can start our CLI, and then basically by running Python CLI.py, it will automatically start this function. From there on, we can then, or it will then pass all the arguments or options which we define in the command line, and basically create our blog post. So we have several options. We can plan our release. We have the option to pass in a category. The default is here number 2, because that's the default category of WordPress. Once you start your engine or your instance, then you can give blog tags. You can make them sticky. That's the option to directly send it to the Search Console. We can add a picture, and we have the automated schema markup FHQ, which is generated by the people also ask. So it basically scrapes Google. All the questions from the people also ask get answered by the OpenAI GPT API, and then added to our blog. So yeah, basically this class gets instantiated. These are all the attributes. It's in German, by the way, so if you want it in English, you have to change that to generate the table of contents. Yeah, I used it for a German blog, therefore it's in German, the prompts. Yeah, some properties. So this is basically only for my database to track, okay, my blog post has 5,000 words, for example. As I said, it also tracks the costs. And there, yeah, we can also generate sources, generate content, and translate it then into a HTML format to basically have the HTML in the WordPress blog. Let's dig into the generate method. It basically goes over all the generated points of the table of content and writes the content. Afterwards, we merge it in the here. We merge it here. We pass the keyword arguments and create the merged HTML. Yes, this is also done in another function. There we go. Generate HTML. This is done by PyPandoc. It basically converts our markdown to HTML. So we send it to our WordPress instance. I also tell them to use no follow links instead of do follow, because we, as I said, we generate our sources, and then I don't want to place them as a do follow link because I don't know if the AI did a correct job. So it's no follow, and I don't have to think about that. The clean numerisch geordnet is also, sorry for my naming, it's a function which what does it do? It basically creates a cleaned, let me check. Yeah, it basically cleans the sources so they don't start with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. What else is interesting? The people also ask, as I said, it scrapes Google, which is done by the people also ask module. Then we want to have it in schema. As I said, this is important SEO aspect, to have a nice SEO markup or schema markup. And this is done by basically all of that. So what it does, it just adds this at the beginning and then goes over all the answers and puts it into a nice markup. The unsplash.py is the class to, or like the Unsplash is the class to access the Unsplash API and get a picture for our WordPress blog post. It searches by our keyword. So if we give the title keyword blog post about Python coding, it will get the first picture and uses it. And this can sometimes be wrong, but to make it easy, I just used it like this. Our WordPress controller is basically the heart of the connection between the script and WordPress. It initializes, verifies with the token, and you can get all the posts we have. You can create a post, you can upload the media, and yeah. We also have a data class which represents our blog post. This is just the representation of the blog post as it is given in the WordPress API. And yeah, this is basically already the script. We can go into the cache token. Yeah, we use a decorator, so we can use the time we want to cache it here. But the JWT token plugin we install on our WordPress blog caches by default, so we use that. The config parse is just to parse our config. The Google Search Console is the class to interact with our Google Search Console. Temporary file, as I said, is to create a temporary file on our system and then send it to the WordPress blog. We can also have a look into the database. So it has only the one table where we track the title, the release, the generated date, the word count, the costs in dollars, so that we have a little overview of what we generated. And we can also say, okay, we generated this on day X. How is the outcome on the ranking in Google on day Y, for example. Then we also have the makefile, which is just, if you execute the makefile, you can basically save 2 commands, which you have to execute other than that. So it basically does the linting for us, where we use Flake 8 and the tests. And yeah, that's basically it. I can also show you how to run it. I use my CLI configuration, but we can also use it here. So we say -3. Then, as I said, CLI.py. I hope it works now because I haven't used it for a while. I just came up by the idea to make a video about it. And we say fire. No such file, of course. Okay, yeah, it is not working as I believe it has to be something with the Python 3.11, but let's try to run it here. It does look better. Not sure if my API keys are still working though, but I'm happy to support you setting it up. You should be able to set it up by yourself with the readme. It's quite good, I would say. So this is just a custom CSS stuff. You don't need to do that. Though you need to edit the htaccess file for the JWT auth plugin. I explained how it works here. If you're using a Docker container, you have to bash into the container and then do some stuff here. And you also have to change the wp config file, and you have to set up the Search Console. This is explained in my blog. It's probably in German. I believe it's in German, but you can translate it. And I definitely recommend it to you to use the API because it indexes way faster. Other than that, you only have to fill your config.ini file, run make test. If that runs, you should be good to go. And then, as I said, -3 or Python CLI.py. If you pass in the help argument, you will see what you can do. And here I give a little example. Feel free to contribute if you find a bug or anything else. Yeah. And you obviously have to install the requirements via pip. I hope you enjoyed the video. I'm not sure if I went over all the code and explanation a little bit too fast. Please let me know in the comments below. I'm happy to support you and give you better explanation in detail. I'm also happy if you leave a follow, and I also want to announce that in my next videos I might introduce you to the next step. I went from blogging with AI. I took this as a base, like a proof of concept. Then I built a little MVP for myself with a graphical user interface or like app. And from there on, I went one step further and released a beta version of Wordgenie. You can check it out. App.wordgenie.de. It's a SaaS tool, yeah, SaaS tool, where you can basically synchronize all your blogs to one central platform and generate all the content you want to create. I can show it to you. There we go. You just register, test. We use this as a password. This is just a test. Hello tree. We log in, as you can see, and from there on I hope you can find out how it works yourself. I'm also happy to help you, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.